Hey guys, it's Lisa. Welcome to Banning, Panning and Beyond. I'm back 2 days in a row now. I'm really trying to make sure I get some more filming done before I go. And on my holiday, as I mentioned in my last video, that's if I do get to go, because as is typical of Australia, we've gone from bushfire disasters to flooding. And my uncle lives up in a mountain that has had a lot of landslides with all the rain. So at the moment, the way up to where he lives is currently blocked off. So, and I'm due to leave at the time of filming in 4 days' time. So we shall see how we go, but either way, you know, it doesn't really matter. I'm happy to get ahead on my filming a little bit. And this video I wanted to cover more of the panning side, because up until now it's been more focused on the banning part with my no-buy. And before I get into that, I know this might not be or seem that exciting, but for me it is. I've actually finally hit 50 subscribers, so that is awesome, and way more than I ever thought that I'd get. So thank you everyone that has been supporting me. So I thought what I would do in regards, sorry, I don't know why I've got a bit of a frog in my throat. So I wanted to touch on the panning side, which is something I haven't been overly good at, and I have been, as you may be aware, participating in some Instagram challenges, which have been good, but I find that I'm jumping around a lot with the products that I use, and I'm not going to kid myself. If ever will I pan an eyeshadow, because I've got so many, but I have really been trying to focus on empties and using up other types of makeup, whether it be skincare based products, that sort of thing. So what I've got on my vanity next to me is the products that I am using every day that I do my makeup. So, and obviously I'm going to just keep rolling in new replacement products as I go through those. So I thought I'd start probably, I guess primers would be the most obvious place to start, and I have touched base in regards to some of these products already. So I've got the tiny little sample here of my Smashbox. It's the Hydrating Under Eye Primer, and I already know now, I'm telling you, I'm going to buy this when my other under eye primer runs out. I've already noticed that it makes a big difference. So that's one I'm going to stick with. And the other thing that it's still really good, but it worked so well with the hyaluronic eye gel that I had been using as a sample, which has now run out. So I've still got a few eye creams to get through, and then I think I'm going to purchase the one from Dr. Dennis Gross. So yeah, I'm using this, but as far as an under eye primer, normally, and I would be using the Per product, which again I've tried to turn down my ring light a little bit, but there's still a lot of reflection there. But rather than the time consuming putting up of photos, I'm just going to hold them up, because if you've been watching my videos you would have already seen them in photos anyway. So it's going to take me ages to get through that eye one. And as far as face primers, at the moment I'm working on a Charlotte Tilbury one. It's almost finished, another little sample sachet, so I will replace that one. Not sure which one I'll go for. I'm trying to pick the smallest, like the minis and the samples, just to try and move them out of my collection as quick as possible. So I'll see where I go, but at the moment that's the one that I have got. Now, as far as concealers go and color correctors, I've got 2 color correctors on the go. This one's been discontinued as far as I know. It's the Urban Decay Naked Skin one in peach, so I tend to get a little bit sort of blue in the corners of my eyes here. So I'm finding that's a really nice light liquid one, whereas I've got a cream one from Bobbi Brown in the bisque, and I tend to use that more on the right inner corner, right up in next to my nose. It's where I'm the bluest, and I use that for that area only. So I sort of use a combination of the two. And concealers, so I've got the Colourpop No Filter concealer, and I can't even tell, I think it was a medium 20. I use that for my face. I don't say that I'm overly fussed on it. Didn't like it for under my eyes when I had it in a lighter colour, and I'm trying to work on that, but I don't use a lot of concealer on my face. Unfortunately, I got a little bit slack with my nighttime. Like on the days I don't wear makeup, I tend to skip washing my face at night, and I paid for it, or I didn't do it for a couple of nights in a row, and now I've got a couple of breakouts which you probably can't see, but on my chin here, I've got another one on my cheek, and I've got one up on my forehead. But I'm finding this one, I need to make sure that I put it over the top of any foundation that I use. If I put it under, it just doesn't seem to work well. So that's that one. And then for my under eye primer, I've gone with the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Illumination one, and I'm quite liking it. You need the tiniest amount of this, and you know, using the heat of your finger to sort of really get that to blend in, and I find that's working much better than just a normal ordinary concealer under my eyes. I guess maybe with my age and the amount of creasing that I've got under there, I needed a more age appropriate concealer, and it's working really well. So and then for the, I'm sort of going in order of kind of the way I would apply them. So this color correcting, it's like a base one, the Lock-It one from Kat Von D. Not something I purchased, it was a gift from a friend, and I'm trying to use that up. I can't say that I particularly love it, but you know, I'm working on it, and I'm staying focused on this so I can get it out of my collection. And then when I try to do a cut crease, it's just very difficult with my hooded eyes. If I find that I need something to help with just getting a shimmer or like a metallic or something to stick a bit better, then I go for the Fenty Beauty eyeshadow base. So you know, it's okay. I think it's I'm not real good with that sort of stuff, and I have got glitter glues, so I know maybe I should sort of stick to using them more, I think. And again, I got that, sorry, frog in my throat. So I don't know whether this is more for color enhancement than anything else. I know that's what a lot of people raved about it when one of her palettes got released. They're really going on about this. I've got it, but I don't know whether I'd ever repurchase it. I don't find that it's anything sort of to rave about. Might not be popular opinion. It could be just my lack of skill, not using the product properly. I don't know. So then we've got for setting, for more the powders. So I've got the Laura Mercier. I've got the translucent setting powder in a little jar that I'm trying to use up on my face. I don't go very heavy with powders, but because I am quite oily, I do need to set my foundation, so I'm using that one up at the moment. And I've also got the Laura Mercier, it's the brightening, it's a secret brightening powder for under eyes, so a nice big tub of that, and that is lasting me forever. So yeah, it's going to take me a while to get through that one, but I'm just going to keep chipping away. And then, yeah, I have gone a little bit out of order here. So I've got this Marc Jacobs, it's the Omega bronzer. I got that free from Sephora when I think it was the warehouse for Sephora moved for the Australian Sephora, which is actually, I think, in Malaysia, is where the warehouse is. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on it, but maybe there's one in Australia and one in Malaysia, depending on whether you order online or not, I'm not sure. But anyway, when they had a issue with shipping and whatnot, any of their top level members got sent a free one. And during the time that they were having issues, I hadn't personally had any issues, but you know, they sent them out to everybody. So I'm working on that one. It is a massive palette, and it's going to probably take me forever. In the meantime, I have got a fair few other bronzers there, but I like the color of this one, so I've been using that one up. And for contouring, there's my little Franken makeup palette. Hopefully it doesn't crumble everywhere. It's a Napoleon one, and at the moment I'm just using the contouring shade. I'm not even sure whether it was meant to be a contour, but it works well for me as a contour with my skin tone. It did have a bronzing sort of shade in there, which I used up almost all of, and then the rest of it crumbled and just went everywhere. So, and then the other ones, there was like two blushes and two highlighters in there, which as part of my January Instagram challenge, we had to do like a Franken makeup, and I never used the colors that were in there. So I decided to mix the two highlighters together, I mixed the two blushes together, and then I sort of, whatever was left over from them from pressing into the pans, I then did like a combo. So I've got like a illuminating blush, I guess, and they are a little bit crumbly. You probably can't tell there on the camera, but you know, I can still use them. They're a little bit powdery and I have to be gentle with them, but it was actually really fun to do, and I liked the result in the end. So I do use those occasionally still. And okay, last powder product, I've got a little amber, sorry, is it the ambient, it's in Dim Light, the Hourglass finishing powder. So I'm using that one up, and geez, they take a long time to get through. Sorry, I've got a hair hanging off me, tickling my arm. So that is it for the powder products. As far as brows, I'm hopeless at brows and tend to not do them very often. You know, I've got my fringe that hangs over, but I noticed when I was starting to take some more Instagram photos, you could tell, especially around here, I'm very, very sparse. So I am considering one of my stepson's girlfriends, Kaylee, which you've heard me mention her a few times on here. She has done a makeup course through our tertiary education, and she does brows and brow tinting and eyelash tinting. So she's going to bring her kit round one day and do my brows and maybe eyelashes for me. So we'll see how we go with that one. But when I've been starting filling in my brows with the Colourpop, it's the Brow Boss. What colour have I got here? It's just light brown. So I've been trying to fill my brows in with that, but the real game changer for me was the Benefit Gimme Brow. I just got a little sample of that. It's almost empty, so I've got it in, I think it was the colour is 3. Yeah, it's 3. And I because I didn't realise how long these would last actually, and Sephora had a sale on where you buy the full size and you got it was like a second one free with it, which is the next size up between this and the full size. So I got those, and I got that in number 2, so hopefully that will be more suitable. Although the more I'm doing my brows, the more I'm getting used to them framing my eyes being that bit sort of stronger. And naturally, even though this is my natural hair colour, being red, you know, a lot of people think, you know, that your eyebrows will also, and eyelashes will be red, but mine aren't, and my eyebrows are actually quite more of a cool toned brown. So it's odd, but yeah, I'm finding that I'm getting more and more used to it. So but this has been fantastic. It's filling my eyebrows out that little bit better, darkening them up, just helping them sit up a bit better too. So I'm really enjoying that product, and I'm as long as I'm still getting product out of it, I'm going to use it up. It is very dry, but I'm almost there. As far as the setting gel, I've got the Kai Brow, and from Kylie Cosmetics. Can't really I mean, it works, it's okay, but I do prefer the Benefit one. I'm not sure, even though I've already catalogued these, I haven't done comparisons because I'm not ready to buy a replacement yet. I haven't, I'm just noticing glitter on my jeans from my eyes. I'll get to that actually in a minute. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to use this one up. Again, it's almost finished. I'm finding I'm really having to get the wand and sort of move that inside the tube to try and get any product left, but I can feel on my eyebrows that they are stiff, so you know, obviously there's something still coming off them, so I'm sticking with that till it's gone. And oh geez, I really skipped ahead here. So I've got my for my foundation, I've got my NARS Sheer Glow in Santa Fe, and I think I've showed before where I'm pulling out the dispenser, and basically I'm at the moment at a point where every time I use it, I'm wiping off the wand here, or the tube, whatever you want to call it, and then tipping the like the container up and tapping it onto my finger just to try and get product out of it. And honestly, yeah, it just surprises me. It just keeps going and going and going. So I've got quite a few foundations I can choose from after this one, but again, I'm gonna get every last drop out of it, just because my conscience, I feel like if it's not completely utterly gone, that I'm cheating. I don't know how other people feel about that. I'm relatively new in the grand scheme of things to panning. I sort of started about, well, it's going more than 6 months now, so eight months, but I've not been as focused on it as what I should, but I'm trying to get there. Okay, so setting spray, I have mentioned the Colourpop Amber Crystal Setting Spray. So I had only the tiniest bit left of this, and I actually had the Urban Decay All Nighter. Was it? No, it was the MAC Fix Plus. I had a bottle where it was actually like, where it screwed on, it was broken. So I decided to, you know, as I was trying to condense everything, I just tipped out what was left of that into with the rest of my Colourpop one. So yeah, I'm getting through that. So it's one less bottle I have to find a spot for. And then the last thing that I've got here is my, for my lashes. So I did finally empty, it was the Tarte lash primer, can't think of what it's called at the moment, and it was, I don't know if it's my empties or not from January, or whether it's in my current ones from Feb, but I've gotten onto the L'Oreal Voluminous primer or lash base. So, and I'm really loving this. I got a sample a fair while ago from a friend, a tiny mini, and it was quite old because I'd never used a lash primer before, and it was quite old by the time I opened it, but it still performed really well. And at that point we couldn't get them, couldn't get that particular thing. We could get the mascara but not the lash primer in Australia, so I ended up getting the Tarte one, finally finished that, and I ended up sourcing, I think we've got one now very similar as the Paradise lash primer from L'Oreal in our pharmacies, but I think this particular one I got through eBay, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, really enjoying that one. It definitely makes a difference to my lashes. As I've mentioned, I'm too scared to do false lashes, so even though I have a few and I've just bought myself the lash kit to try and start practicing, but I think that would be something that I would do for a special occasion. It's not something I would do on a regular basis, and definitely the base makes a big difference for me. And then I've got my mascaras here. I've got the Bobbi Brown, it's a smoky eye mascara, almost gone. Same thing as with the Kybrow product, where I'm getting a wand and really trying to scrape the tube out, and if it covers the white, the base, and I can still see that I'm getting product out of it, I'm continuing to use it, but I'm finding it's sitting there more and more untouched these days, because I've got my Hank and Henry mascara, which is it's the double-ended one, so it's got the sort of the normal type of mascara wand on one end, and then the other one is more for your lower lashes, which is fantastic. It's so fine, and I'm not sure if you can even see that. I'm looking in the display there, and you can see, I think, how fine that is, and it's really good for doing the bottom lashes. But prior to cracking this one open, I already, knocking everything over, I've got the MAC Extended Play Lash. My daughter gave this to me as a gift quite a while ago, and again, it's almost dry out. It's just funny how every time you want to use something up, it just seems to keep going. This wand here is really good for lengthening, and I also find it's great for doing my bottom lashes as well. So I've kind of got those 3 mascaras, or 4 if you count the double one, on the go. So I'm just using a mix of those as I'm going every day. So that's it as far as the things I'm trying to pan or empty as far as makeup is concerned. And skincare I could do separately another day, but what I did want to mention is that I've decided to do a panning, a proper panning project, and there's a couple of ladies on Instagram. I found it from another lady that I follow on Instagram, and the ladies who are hosting it, I will give more details in a future video, but I'm really looking forward to it. It is a rolling panning project. I think it runs for 3 or 4 months, so I'm going to participate in that one, which will help me hopefully focus on more on the color cosmetics and get some of them going. And yeah, so I'm actually really looking forward to that. So like I said, I'll give you more details in future about that one. But in regards, I said I was going to talk to you about the glitter that I saw on my thing. I don't know if you can see the look I've got today. So it is part of the Tender February challenge on Instagram that I'm doing at the moment, where day 15, it's the 16th here today, but because Australia is ahead of the US time wise, and most of the northern hemisphere, so I'm doing it a day behind, sort of in keep with the same as the majority of participants in the challenges. And day 15 was to let your husband choose or your loved one or ones choose what you put on your face. So yeah, so I let my husband choose, and this is what he chose, because I'll talk about this palette another time, because there is a story behind it. But basically, it's the Colourpop So Jaded. I'm trying to see if you can see that one there. So how's that? That looks like, from what I can tell, maybe a little bit better. So yeah, he got actually quite excited because he really liked the Peridot, I think that's how you pronounce it, shade in this palette, which is I mean, it's hard to tell, but it is a sort of a yellowy greeny gold, and he picked that and then told me he wanted me to put orange on my lips, and I was horrified at the color combination, because anyone who knows by now is I am petrified of color on my eyes. Fine with the bold lip, but I thought, well, you know, the Peridot is very close in with other oranges and stuff in the palette, so I thought I can make that work. And just before he went to bed, because he's a day sleeper because he works night shift, he decided to, you know, throw in that he wanted me to add in the purple, which I think it looks a bit blue in the screen there for me, but it is purple. It's called Amethyst. And then there is a glitter in here called Opal, which is so pretty. So he asked me to use that one as well. So I did the best I could. I need lots of practice and need to work on my confidence and just getting used to seeing myself with colour. But that is, if anyone can tell, it's hard for me to tell what you guys can properly see, but if you can see my makeup and go, oh wow, that's different for you, that's why. So it's not something that I motivated myself to do. It was all because of the challenge, which what makes these things so much fun, because I wouldn't normally do this sort of thing, and it's gotten a pretty good response so far on Instagram as well. So maybe that's a regular thing I'll get him to do. Maybe once a month I'll get him to choose my makeup colours, and I'll see, and I'll create some looks that are out of the ordinary for me. So yeah, so I just wanted to, like I said, give you an update on where I was with my panning and where I'm going from here. And this will probably be my last video, which I'll upload in a couple of days before I go away, and then there'll be a little bit of a break so that I can hopefully film while I'm away. I'm not too sure. I know how to use it. You film on my MacBook, but I'm not too sure what software I've got on my normal HP laptop. So, and that's the one that I'll be taking with me. So I'll try and work out. If not, I can try and do something maybe on my phone and mash it all together, and hopefully show you guys a little bit of my road trip up to see my uncle with my sister. So yeah, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. This is my stepson, Connor. Yeah. Come on, Kaylee. Now you can come and stand in front of the camera so I can...
Give me clout.
Yeah, see? Embarrassed.